What's up, demons? It's me, your boy Phoebe, and today we're doing a new video on The Sims 4, and it's going to be my unpopular opinions. And I'll say part 1 because I know after this, the way my brain works, it'll be like part 2, and then I'll have to do that as well. So yeah. Oh yeah, disclaimers. For one, these are just my opinions. Don't attack me, don't at me, don't harass me. I can't speak, but don't harass EA. I do that. You don't need to do that. Just kidding. Oh yeah, and if you disagree with anything, please let me know in the comments below. You can just type them like right down there, whatever. Say what you gotta say. You know, Sarah Bareilles. I just want to see you be free. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into this. So my first unpopular opinion is that kits aren't bad. I know.
Boo! You stink!
Bring the booze on. But hear me out. I actually like the idea of spending like $5 to get some stuff that is purely cosmetic. I'm talking about just CAS or just build and buy. That's a great idea. The problem wherein lies that the content that are given with kits are completely inconsistent. Like some kits are really good. Like to me, like active streetwear is actually a good kit because I mean, I like athleisure, and I think for a lot of my Sims, they like to wear athleisure, so it's a good kit for that. Also for working out in general. The Carnival Street kit, I honestly like some of the things in there. Other people don't, but I like the nails and I like some of the outfits in that as well. And another kit I think is like low-key fucking essential is the Moonlight Chic streetwear, I think is what it's called. And it just has like some really nice modern pieces of like, girl, what? But yeah, like there's some kits that are really good, and then there's some that are kind of like, what? That I heard like Bust the Dust is trash. I don't own that one, but I heard Bust the Dust is bad. Oh yeah, no, the blooming one with the indoor plants, that's another good kit. But yeah, there's some kits that aren't bad and they're inconsistent, and that's why I think they honestly get a lot of flack. Hello. Yeah, and I think, you know, like when they actually serve the niche they're supposed to, it's a very good business model, and I think honestly a lot of people like them. Okay, second unpopular opinion, I'm sorry, but The Sims 3 today in its current state without mods is not that good. And I wouldn't recommend it to somebody who's never played The Sims 3 to go and play it now. Because while I do have The Sims 3 and I love that there's no like simulation lag, I can have like toddlers and babies be actually like functional and do things, and cars and walking around and taking the subway and driving. I love all those aspects. However, that game be crashing like a motherfucker, and nobody mentions that. Nobody mentions that the game be crashing, and I'm like, okay, I guess. Because when I try to play, that game crashes. I know you can do all this stuff and do this and install that, but some people really aren't that tech savvy even though they play on computers. So it's just not like, I'll say Sims 3 is not beginner friendly, and I wouldn't suggest playing it if you've never played it before. I know everybody says Sims 3 is better, but I'm like, it's better in concept at the time when it came out and The Sims 4 just came out, but like now, that's a hard sell. Sorry. Another thing, I know people love that color wheel, but like I think it's kind of overwhelming. Like the color wheel is okay, don't get me wrong, and I think it's nice when you have a really solid look in mind. However, half the time I'm just sitting there like, half these things don't need to be patterns. The patterns they give you are fucking F-U-G-L-Y. They ain't got no alibi. They fugly. They're fugly. They're fucking ugly. They're horrible. I'm sorry. The pattern's trash. Like I just be sitting there like, Imagine going to like a buffet, but then all they have is just like different kinds of broccoli. And like, I love broccoli, bitch, but like, I'm not about to go to a buffet where there's like 17 types of broccoli. Like, bro, you gotta give me a little bit more than that. Maybe that was a bad analogy. I don't care, but it's what it is. Okay, the other one. This isn't really that unpopular, but it's unpopular in places I be. I should have done this the whole time. We don't need cars in The Sims 4. We don't. First of all, first things first, Sims 4 is eternally broken. So expecting it to be like this when it's already here is already a pass. So I'm not with that mentality. The cars, I don't want no cars. Sorry, the cars in Sims 3, okay, like they're cool and fun, don't get me wrong. But also, it kind of loses its novelty, and it's just like, okay. Like, I'm sure most of the time when you're playing and actually trying to do stuff, you're just gonna skip it anyways. Okay, I honestly don't mind the loading screens. Like, I notice my loading screens honestly aren't that long when I don't have a bunch of mods and stuff installed, so that may be a factor. However, regardless of that, my loading screens aren't that long, so it's like, I just sit there, go on my phone, and just think about like, okay, they're driving and they're doing something. I just make it up in my mind. But also, like, as told by Kenya said, you need like a good imagination to play The Sims 4, because half the shit like just don't really be happening. So with that being said, yes, I don't really care about the cars. I don't really want them, to be honest. I'd rather them put resources to other shit than freaking automobiles. However, what they don't need to be doing is putting those bitches like in all like the scene dressings and stuff. While I'm saying I don't want cars in the sense of like driving places, right? When I play the game, I'll like size up a toy car and I'll just make them go to it and like imagine they go to that. I'm just saying, couldn't there be a way they could like implement, they have cars in the game, right? Click it and it just goes to the loading screen, like something nice like that. If you're going to put cars into all of the scene dressing, you can still find a way to implement it into the game. Kind of like with Sims Busting Out, where like the car, driving the car was actually the loading screen. It wasn't like you were actually like Formula One in that bitch, but like you were sitting in it and then there would be a loading screen to be like, and then you get to the destination and it's done loading. Like they could do something like that if they're going to do those things. But as far as actual driving cars, no, don't want them. This one is a hot take, I guess, maybe. The Sims 4 being free was a fucking mistake. Everything The Sims has done up to this point, since they made it free, has been in the mind of the base game is free. So when they give things to the base game, they're not going to put as much effort in it as they did before because it's free. Why would the infants be more intricate without the pack when the game is free? That makes no sense. How are they going to make more money on Get Together? They're not thinking about people who've been playing the game for like ever since it launched or even for years and years. They're not thinking about that. They're thinking about the new players. The new players be like, oh, the game is free. I'll spend $40 to get Together. That's all they want is the money. That's like the bottom line. So with that being said, while the infants were a disappointment, I completely understand why it was that way because the base game is free and that shit was a fucking like L. Like they should not have made the base game free. I'm sorry. I feel like there's even a bigger divide in the Sims community because there's people who haven't had to pay for the base game for people who have. So like their mindset on how everything goes, they're just like, oh, I mean, like, you know, it's laggy and this and that, but like it's free, so like, you know, that doesn't really matter to me. Versus people who've had to pay $40 or less or, you know, anything to play the game because that is like, damn, like I paid this money, this shit sucks. I bought all these packs, this shit sucks. Now you're telling me I get nothing but a Desert Lux free kit, which by the way, I didn't like that shit, so they didn't care about that. And they're gearing up to do a free-to-play model for The Sims 5, and The Sims 5 is not going to be good. I'm sorry to burst y'all bubble. The Sims 5 is going to be, like they said, integrated with The Sims Mobile, and I don't know how in the ever-living fuck a PC game is supposed to be integrated seamlessly with a mobile game. They're not on the same technological caliber. No, they're not there. I'm sorry. Laptops and phones can't do the same thing. Computers and phones can't do the same thing. Fuck. Even desktops and laptops can't even do the same thing half the time. You're telling me a phone and a freaking PC is supposed to be seamless? Bye. I feel like their main bottom line is trying to get new fans to buy the packs. They are prioritizing newer fans over the older fans, and like from a business standpoint, I don't fault them for that. But with that being said, you have to set your expectations. Like they're not going to think about, oh, like this old pack only offered this at this time and after the, you have to put everything in the mindset of like a new Sims 4 player that got it when it was free. That's all they care about. Okay, my ears itchy. Okay, this one is really, I feel like this one is the true hot take, but I stand by it. Snowy Escape is underrated. Like, I really like Snowy Escape. For one, I love the skiing and the snowboarding like activities. Personally, I don't need to have like a little mini game or anything truly invested other than like a black hole up to the mountain for me to like have fun playing on the mountain slopes and shit. That shit's fun. And then the gondola, even though you can't be on it, it's like, whatever. What else do you do on a gondola besides sit there and look at shit? Like, you know, there's really not much you can do gameplay wise with your Sims. And regardless, so I actually really like those aspects that people don't like about Snowy Escape. Also, the hot pots, the different freaking soup choices and ramens you can do, having people choose between chopsticks and forks. Like, I know maybe to some other people that's not a big deal, but like some people like to play with multicultural Sims or people who are Asian or in any sense like that is really a fun thing because seeing them all eat with chopsticks is just very immersive and fun to play. And maybe that's the way you should play. Gameplay tips is like not cosplay, but like play with different cultures and, you know, Google some little things, whatever. Just play as different cultures, and that's what really makes Snowy Escape and City Living, foreshadowing, and City Living a really good pack is because you're like kind of putting yourself in the shoes of others, and that's really fun, at least to me, gameplay wise in The Sims. That's one of like the best things about The Sims is like playing lives and lifestyles that you really can't play otherwise. Oh yeah, I love the fact that you can choose to take off shoes or not take off shoes, because like I know in a lot of people's houses, they're like in my house, like, you know, you don't want to wear shoes in the house, so you take them off, walk through, whatever. Yeah, I just like that. Another thing, gameplay aspect, even though it doesn't work sometimes. arms. It's nice, and the thought and the sense of it is very enjoyable. The hot springs, the hot springs, the hot springs. The hot springs are lit. Like, I add them to my gym lots, or like gym lots I get from the gallery. I just add the hot springs, you know, after people, you know, do everything, or add them to spas too. And after everybody does this stuff, it's just another part of gameplay. It's nice. People get to chill in there, talk, have fun, chill, have a good time. Really fun for all your Sims to socialize, get to know people, gameplay, different variety, storytelling, stuff that a lot of Simmers, you know, feel like they don't get. I feel like with certain packs on the surface, they look like, why would I get that? But then in reality, they actually be super fun to play. And like, you know, I guess I'll make a thing on like underrated packs. I actually like make a little video on that in the future. I also like that every age group was like considered, like obviously toddlers can't ski, but literally kids, teens, everybody can ski and stuff. There's the walks with the whole family plus the elderly. You can also bring your toddlers to the little different festivals. There's the festival like literally only for kids. Like, it's also very family oriented, as well as a like destination pack, and that's why I really like it. And mixing like the Asian influence with a lot of the winter wear, really like that. Don't know about y'all, but I'm actually a fan of winter wear, so having more of it, really like the creative sim as well. Overall, it's just underrated, and people really give it a lot of flack. And like, it's one of those expansion packs that I feel like fits the definition of it, where it's something that's niche, and that if you want that in your game, it's very great and gratifying to have. However, if you don't have Snowy Escape, it's not a big deal, and it's not gonna change your game or make it essential, you know, like seasons or university or things like that, you know? I love Maxis Match CC. I like that cartoony look of The Sims, actually. I think it's super cute. I think it perfectly matches like the in-between of cartoony and realistic, because Sims 3 be looking crazy, but everybody knows that. I really think it also takes some skill to make some really good Maxis Match CC. Also, I don't know this for a fact, but I believe, like, all I know is that when I had Alpha CC in my game, it was breaking a little bit more often than my Maxis Match CC. Oh, I didn't explain. Okay, if you are unaware, CC is custom content, which is clothes, hairstyles, furniture, all sorts of things. There's Alpha, and then there's the Maxis Match. When it comes to Create-a Sim custom content, I prefer Maxis Match, because not only does it more integrate with the game, I don't have to add G-Shade and other mods to make it more pleasing. I also just really dig that Polly Pocket aesthetic. What can I say? The bitch, like, she likes cartoony colors and shit, you know? So I really like Maxis Match. I know a lot of people don't. They say it looks like clay, it sucks, but to me a lot of Alpha looks like freaking paper mache. It's thin, it's crunchy. For the black hairstyles, it's a stress. Like, don't get me wrong, I think the best bet is honestly to have a mix of both Maxis Match and Alpha, but overall, like, a lot of Alpha stuff is just kinda crunchy, and that's the thing. It's like, I feel like it's harder to find a lot of good Alpha CC than Maxis Match CC, so stop speaking down on Maxis Match like that. This isn't necessarily an unpopular opinion, but it needs to be said. Black Simmers don't get enough. They don't. There's not enough hairstyles. There's not enough stuff in Build and Buy that I would consider to be very inclusive. And it's just kind of, you have to have mods in CC to make playing as a Black Simmer worth it. And I know some people don't play with Black Sims, and neither am I asking people to play with Sims that they don't want to play with. Do the game how you want to do it. However, I just feel like people who do want to play that way is very hard. Like, don't even get me started on the creative Sim fashions, because what can you really do? But as far as actually like the music, like the Soul Station, once again behind the paywall, regular hip-hop, a lot of it's R&B. There's an R&B station. You really don't know what hip-hop is? Confusing, man. The Soul Station is with Growing Together, so can't even get that. Also, the Sims 4 hairstyles, even with all the expansion packs, do not offer enough textures. They seem to have that down with textures of other races that aren't people of color, that are Black or Indigenous, BIPOC, you know. Don't have enough of those textures, i.e. specifically Black people. Don't get me wrong, there's open ringlet curls, there's some other hairstyles, but as far as men, there's lacking a lot as far as locks, different things that aren't that same ass crunchy fucking Caesar that we keep getting over and 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 over again. Yeah, I'm tired of that shit. I'm tired of that fucking Caesar cut. If I see you one more time, I'm gonna burn. But nah, there needs to be more hairstyles for Black men. There needs to be more hairstyles for Black toddler girls and Black little girls, as well as Black boys too. There's not enough hairstyles for them. There's not enough hairstyles for Black women in either. Like, as far as being enough braids that don't look a hot ass mess, somebody needs to handle that for real now. Because the textures are bad. There needs to be more textures that are very curly. I'm talking like 4C, like tight, kinky, coily textures, especially for kids and stuff, because not everybody wears perms or wear weaves, and I just like the difference and the diversity of having those hairstyles available for my black Sims, if I so want them to have it or not, because I don't want all my Sims to have straight hair or wavy hair or all that kind of stuff. No. At first, I kind of thought Growing Together was going to be that pack where they would focus culturally on Black American life, or even Black life period, because they could have like African kind of stuff or Caribbean influence stuff or South American influence stuff. Like, it's truly endless what they could have honestly put into the game as far as for black culture, but they didn't really like go full force with that, which was weird because there's been other packs like Snowy Escape where they focus on one specific culture, and I think that's actually really good and encourages people to play with different Sims, you know? Okay, and finally, and most importantly, I actually think The Sims 4 currently is the best game in the franchise. I know. Save your tomatoes. Save your tomatoes for the comment section, ladies and gentlemen. I really like the aesthetic of it, for one. I think when the game works, it's truly the most fun experience that I cannot replicate with any other game. That's why Sims 4 fans are crazy. There's nothing else like it. Kind of like with Madden, like, they're like, where did you play a different game? There's no other games that offer that experience. So like, I'm not like, no, I can't just go and play another game. Not like Call of Duty or something, or any of those other RPGs or anything like that. Like, there's nothing that offers the same experience as The Sims 4. So it's not to why people are so psychotic. But I do think when things work, it's actually a really good game, and it's super gratifying and so fun to take pictures with family. And of all the features that have been stripped down currently in this state, I think that a lot of the features that The Sims 4 does offer, basing it solely off of the game it is and not what it doesn't have, it offers a lot of things and it truly is fun. It just sucks that you have to spend hella money to make it that way. That's the problem. The money you have to spend to make the game worth playing, and then how inconsistent the quality is. Not even inconsistent, it's just pure bad. The quality is bad with some of the stuff. There's bugs, there's glitches, the game is not handled properly. It needs to be completely reworked. The Sims 5 needs to be fucking forgotten, and The Sims 4 needs to be reworked, updated. Everything needs to be refreshed. Like, if you're going to keep selling this shit for full price years later, there's no reason why any pack that's come out more than 2 years ago should still be full price on a regular day. Any other game, the games are older, they decrease in price. Why in the fuck is Get to Work $40 in 2023? We are almost at 9 years later after that pack was launched. There's no way that pack should still be $20. Are you kidding me? And also, it's the lack of The Sims 4 not reaching its true potential that I think is really a disappointment for a lot of people. It's kind of like, damn, like, this game truly could have been very, very, very amazing, and it is with mods and with other people that genuinely be living their life. And these niggas be in school and shit, and they be making mods for us, and I'd be like, damn, like, truly appreciate it. By the way, support your mod creators if you really, really like them on Patreon. Support content creators, hello. But yeah, like, as far as the modders having to actually pick up the slack and make the game worth playing is just abysmal. Like that. Mods should be sprinkles. Why in the fuck are mods and the modding community and custom content creators literally the sprinkles, the cake, the icing? The only thing that freaking The Sims 4 is a plate. Like, they have to do everything to make it good. Like, that's not how it should be. That's not how we should be treated as a community that's so dedicated to The Sims. Like, no. You should be mad about how you're being treated by these companies. You give them money. But as far as that's all I got for today, y'all. Do you disagree with anything? Tell me in the comments below. Do you agree with stuff? Tell me in the comments below. I never freaking said to subscribe or like the video or anything. So that's gonna suck. That's gonna suck. Hurt my feelings. Also, make sure you like and subscribe, you know, to always be in the know of my videos and whatnot. Until next time, my lovelies. Bye.